Henry, who's the next speaker?
Tom Bradshaw.
Thank you very much, everybody, and what an incredible sight this is. I hope that Sir Keir Starmer is looking on from wherever his plane is, and Rachel Reeves can look on and hear what you've all been saying. Our industry, farming, the best and most important industry in this country. Yes. It's never stronger than when we speak with one voice. Can I thank the organisers of today's rally, Clive, Ollie, Martin, Wardy and James. Can I thank all of you for braving the weather? We never had any doubts that you'd be here. This budget has cut deep, and I think today you can see what this means to the farming industry right the way across the United Kingdom. And I'm proud to be standing here shoulder to shoulder with you, with the other presidents of the farming unions. My message to government today is clear. When you make a promise to farmers, you keep it. I'm the fourth generation of my family farm with the fifth generation at home. Like so many of you, when I went back to farm, my parents couldn't afford to retire from the farm. They're still in partnership with me today, some 20 years later. I've worked with multiple generations of my farm, just my family, just like many of you out there today have. These multi-generational businesses are special. We can't afford for this government to take us for granted and not respect what we do. Today isn't about left or right. It's about right and wrong. It's about policy, not politics. And this policy is simply wrong. So let's call this disastrous policy out for what it is. It's betrayal. It's betrayal based on questionable facts. I've met the Secretary of State. I've sat down with Treasury ministers. I've looked them in the eye again and again. And yet they continue to double down, and they don't believe the impacts this will have on you, your farms, your family, your future. Every penny the Chancellor saves from this tax will come directly from the next generation, having to break up their family farms. Are you proud of that, Chancellor? Across the country, tenant farmers are having sleepless nights. They worry the land will be sold from beneath their feet. That's not a future that anybody can invest in. This policy has far-reaching impacts. It stops you investing in your farms for the future. It cuts off the ability to deliver the food security message that the Prime Minister said is so important. But most importantly, the human impact of this policy is simply unacceptable. Generations that have worked their socks off to produce the food for this country have been cut off at the knees. They have no ability to plan their way through this. Octogenarians and older that have worked their lifetime producing food for the country have had a bitter, bitter blow. The human impact of this policy is simply unacceptable. The Chancellor says, invest, invest, invest. How many of you have got the confidence to invest in your farms for the future? We know many of you are putting off the investments that would deliver the food security they all talk about. They've broken a promise. Steve Reed stood on a platform a year ago, said they would not change agricultural property relief. He reinforced it 2 weeks later, and yet suddenly they've done it in the budget. But this isn't just about APR and BPR. They are the straw that broke the camel's back. We've had the fertiliser tax, the dramatic cuts to BPS, the double cab pickup tax, the inflationary pressures from the supply chain caused by the national living wage and the national insurance. This is a damaging budget for food production, and it will drive up inflation at the shelves because you lot have nothing left to give. You've been bled dry over years, and they must sort this out. For those of you looking on from afar, that are looking at the farming industry, thinking, how can you try and justify this tax? Those of you that may be struggling to afford the daily shop, we don't want to be here. All we want to do is produce your food. The budget is causing inflationary pressure. It's going to mean retail shelf prices need to go up. It's not us that's doing that. The APR and the BPR change will create more volatility in the supply chain. It doesn't in any way help you. We want to feed you. We want to do it profitably. And I don't think anyone in this audience will have a problem paying any more tax if we make that tax from producing the country's food. But if that tax comes from untimely death or from the elderly, that is simply unacceptable. Before I wrap this up, I just want to give you 2 jobs. The first, excuse me. Excuse me, can we just, right, can I give you 2 jobs, please? Right, can we give you 2 jobs, please? First of all, we know the pressure this is putting on the farming industry. The mental health toll on our industry was already at record levels. I am seriously concerned, as many of you are here, about the impact that this has. It's very far-reaching. When you're back on your farms tomorrow, pick up the phone to a friend, a neighbour, somebody that you haven't seen for a while, or that was a bit below par last time you saw them. Have a yarn. Make sure they're okay. And secondly, please do write to your MP. You may laugh at me, but they are elected to represent you. They must have heard today the impact that this will have on you, your farms, your future, your family. We are fighting for you every single day. You won't give up. We won't give up. The government must change course. They've simply got this policy wrong, and every meeting I go in, whether you're an NFU member or not, I carry you into that room with me, and we will do our best to fight this awful policy. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tom. Now,